All right. No wonder I couldn't hear myself. That's special. Anyway, I'm just talking. I mean, it's still on YouTube. YouTube is still there. Technical difficulties, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I am your sister, Cece Pruitt, and you are listening to me on PQLR1 Radio, where Yah is first. We are doing a little tester today for YouTube, which I mean really shouldn't be that hard or difficult. I mean, just press the button, but you know how things go. So today we are, like I said, testing for YouTube, yet still on the radio. So we are thankful for all the provisions that have been made for this to happen. We are ever so thankful. So, for those out there listening, those paying attention, we are just so grateful for you and the opportunity to talk with you. Again, if you'd like to call in, do so 314-744-9414 or text us. You can also email us at pqlr1radio at gmail.com. That's pqlr, the number one radio at gmail.com. All right. So let's get into our topic of today. Kind of got a little bit of a late start, but it's okay. I mean, we are like from the South, kind of like just laid back. It's all right. I'm good. I hope everybody else is good today. But what we're going to do is get into more topic about natural healing. We know that this is important in these days and times. Now, I may know it's important, you may know it's important, but you might have a sister that doesn't know it's important, or your brother doesn't know it's important. They're still taking um Sabrinapril, one of those pills from the commercials on TV. They always have those interesting names. I wonder where those names come from. But yeah. So from arthritis, heart disease, gout, just all kind of different issues, back issues, like, being in car accidents and all this kind of stuff. Um, we have many ailments, many aches and pains that we're dealing with. And, the world would just kind of tell you, oh, it's because you're getting older. Or, you start getting stiff. Oh, it's because you're getting older and all of that. Well, we know that that is not true. There's several factors to why you start feeling that kind of way. Um, we don't really do the things that we need to do for our bodies, including when we're younger. We kind of damage our bodies. We do all kind of abusive things to our bodies, and then we wonder why. When we get a certain age, why our body seems like it's failing us, and it does not have to be that way. And I'm preaching to myself as well. I really am. I'm preaching to myself as well. Um, You should be able to be an all natural person, meaning now I'm not talking about weave and nails and all that. I mean, we know that you should be an all natural person realistically. Not just because it's fake, but also because those things contribute toxic chemicals into your body. But you should be able to be an all natural person, meaning you should not have to take aspirins and all these different pills that the doctor wants to give you, because then after they start giving you the pills, you need a pill to remedy what that pill did. It's just pill upon pill. And that is not what we should want for ourselves. We should want just all of what Yah has for us in this natural state. But as we know that's just not so. I really grieve the fact that as far back as I can think to, I would say even great grandparents, that's probably when the migration onto the pharmakia started, like for me, because, I'm in my 40s. So I can think back to my great grandmother and if she was taking any sort of medicine or if she was overweight or just really not really taking care of herself in a way that she should have. It just goes that far back. But we know at a certain time, our people did know that there were natural remedies for healing, and they did use natural remedies for healing, which, in today's day and age, I guess people are starting to get back to that. They're starting to get back to natural healing. Um, but for so long, we have just been a society, I'll say a society as a whole. a society dependent upon the pharmaceutical industry. We have considered the doctor to be godlike, and that's no accident. I mean, it's all been set up that way so that the doctor would seem like he knows more than you, or the doctor knows your body better than you. Well, the doctor has gone to school and he studied things in a certain way, and he has all of these empirical articles and peer read reviews and just all of this different stuff that they go off of. But your doctor, he or she is not Yah. So they cannot really tell you what it is about your body that you need to know about your body. Because Yah can tell you what you need to know about your body. I'm not saying that the doctor can't be somewhat helpful. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is you need to be trusting Yah for your healing. Yah could definitely lead you to a doctor that is following him. I haven't really run into one personally. I've had some doctors who are, Christians. That's a whole nother story. Um, but I'm just talking about regular MDs because there are plenty of naturopathic doctors that most likely have your best interest at heart, meaning they study natural medicine. Um, then you have your functional medicine doctors. Those doctors, I don't quite understand the functional medicine doctor as a whole, but I do know that they take more of a natural approach. Like they're willing to look at the root of the problem and well, I shouldn't say I don't understand them because I do. I get it. They're willing to look at the root of the problem instead of just like treating the surface disease that is seen. They want to get to the bottom of it. Like if you have arthritis, they're not going to just give you um, a pill for the arthritis. They're going to try to figure out what it is that you're eating or you're not eating, what supplements you might need, or if you're getting enough exercise. They're going to figure out all of those things and come to a better conclusion to help you work through what it is that your body is doing because arthritis is just a form of inflammation. So why is your body inflamed? Why are your knees acting up? Why are they creaking? Why, when it rains, your joints seize up? Probably because you heard your grandmother say it. So now you took that on. But yeah, like why are all these things happening that make you feel like, oh, I'm getting old when I mean, really, everybody's getting older. But I know for myself, I've seen plenty of people um on the internet that are getting older, yet they look and feel better than they did in their younger years. I mean, I even saw a white man. I was shocked because we always look at them like, oh my gosh, whoo, they age bad. But I saw this white man yesterday, and I forgot what sort of platform he has. I know that he doesn't eat animals. I guess he would call himself a vegan. Um, I just don't use that term, but I think that he calls himself a vegan, and he says that he has been that way since he was 17, and he is 40, no, he's 50, he's 50. This man looked every bit of 31, if if not 28. He looked very young. He looked very youthful, and I was, like, blown away because again, normally we're looking at them and like, "Oh my gosh, they just don't age well," right? But he looked well. Then, of course, there's this, a couple of black women in their 70s, almost 80s, circulating on is it Instagram? Yeah, and they are very fit and thin and looking nice. I mean, of course, it takes a head wrap because if you like me, you got these gray hairs coming out, whatever. But yeah, I mean, they totally don't look their age. They look very young. They feel very vibrant. They have a lot of vitality. They probably could run circles around their grandchildren, to be honest. I mean, that's the way I want to be. I want to be able to just, be healthy and great. So that's what we should be striving for. Not striving for these pains and these aches that happen when you quote get older. No, We should be striving to reverse those things as we get educated and we learn what they really are, because none of these things are normal. Any sickness or disease that you have in your body, it is not normal. It is not a naturally occurring thing that should be happening in your body. You should not be sick. Okay. Now, we would like to say that, well, this is the world that we live in and this and that, and the food that they're doing. And that, yeah, we know that they're poisoning things. We know that. But as a believer and a child of the Most High Yah, you should be still believing for healing. Okay. So that is the number one step. Like, we have got to believe Yah for healing, no matter what it looks like, you know. And it's funny because I posted something in some group. Um, but it was like a clip of Pastor Darby. Somebody else posted, and I was like, well, let me go ahead and grab that. And he was talking about that, and he said that no matter what it looks like, you should, you can't deny that you're having some pain, but you should be able to say, hey, I'm a child of the Most High Yah, and I am trusting Him for my healing still, no matter what. And there's plenty of scripture going with that, right? So that's what we're gonna be talking about, pain. Like the pain that you're in, the pain that you're having, what are you doing about it? Let me get the actual title because that is very much so not the title, but let me give you the title. Let me read it to you. Okay. So, pain, what are you doing to rid yourself or give a bit of relief? Join PQLR1 Radio, where Yah is first on Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7:15 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8:15 Eastern Standard Time, where we will get into this topic. From old back injuries, migraines, arthritis, we all have had some sort of pain that we have had to deal with. Is the answer in a pharma pill, perhaps in herbs, or the food that aligns you righteously with? Wait, I wrote this. I don't know. Is the answer in a pharma pill or perhaps in the herbs and foods that align righteously with your body? I have to say that right because I wrote that. Okay. So, hopefully your take, you'll take, hopefully your takeaways, I don't know what I wrote here. I must have been in a hurry. Hopefully your takeaways from this episode will lead you to the word of Yah first and then to the herbs that he made for your meat. We hope you can join us. All right. So if you are joining us, praise Yah. Welcome. Thank you so much. Hopefully you are going to get something from this. And if you are watching me on YouTube, I keep fluffing my hair around because I definitely had a different style going before these headphones got on, but it's okay. We won't worry about that. We will not worry about that. Just listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth, and hopefully you will get something from this. Okay. Don't be distracted. Don't get distracted. It's okay. But anyway, so we again offer everyone to call or text at 314-744-9414, or you can email pqlr1radio@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. If you have a business or if you have a ministry, we perhaps want to speak with you and interview you. Go and look at us in YouTube. We have many people that we've interviewed. Okay. So if you have a business or a ministry, or you want to just talk, go ahead and let us know. And I see Sister Yadaya. Shalom, Sister Yadaya. Thank you so much for joining. Sister Yadaya is one of our fantastic artists that Yah has promoted into a certain place because she definitely brings truth music. I mean, I'm telling you, all these people out here saying they bring truth music, but I mean, you turn on Sister Yadaya's music, you're gonna get some scripture. Okay, so you need to get your Bible out and your notes while she is doing her thing, because I'm telling you, it is day changing. You turn on her music and she's posting like immediately. I think as soon as she opens her eyes, she is making a post. But if you're paying attention to her music, I'm telling you, it is definitely Yah inspired, and you will go away with a word, just feeling completely different about your day. Just the way that she puts the music together, it is just a blessing because I'm telling you, it will have me thinking about stuff all day. and it's just a blessing, and that is pumping Yah up because Yah is the greatest. I'm telling you, he's the greatest inspiration you'll ever have. You don't need a motivational speaker. You need your Bible, you need the word, you need to listen to what thus saith Yah. He's got the words for you. So anyway, yes, all praises to the most high Yah says. So let's get into it. Because I always think, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough content. I don't know why I think that every time because I get on here and just babble on like a babbling brook. But today I'm gonna try to stay most relevant. Not here to entertain, but here to educate you and me. Okay. I'm not a perfect vessel, but I am one here that Yah has allowed truth. And I'll say that because I think about this every day. Like I could still be eating hamburgers and hot dogs and shrimp and pork and chicken and all of that stuff. I could really be eating that, and I'll even throw mushrooms in there because people love mushrooms, but here in our house, we don't consume mushrooms because it is a fungus, and, that fungus has replaced meat for people, and I just can't get with consuming fungus. I should say, Willie and I talked about it, and I was like, I used to buy the huge tub of mushrooms from Costco, but just one day, I don't know, I was cooking and I was like, I just don't think this is right. First of all, they don't have a wonderful smell. They smell horrible. They do not smell good. But when you think about it, when you cook these mushrooms up, it's like you are totally using it as like your training wheels or just for everything because people use mushrooms in place of meat. People are always looking for a meat substitute. Well, in my opinion, when you're getting off of the bad things, the stuff that you should not consume, the stuff that is not food, I don't think you should be looking for something to tide you over. I think you need to really focus on training your body into conforming and acclimating itself to what Yah said was meat for us. Okay. I mean, that's just the reality. If you eat mushrooms, you eat mushrooms. But again, for me, I know that we have fungus in our body, like candida and just all this other stuff, that we are actually trying to extract out of our bodies. Well, if you don't know that that's what we should be doing. Like we need to be getting heavy metals and candida and parasites out of our body. And it is a work. It is a true work in progress because these things dwell within. And the heavy metals that come into our bodies, um, you really cannot get past it because it's from, the toxic stuff they put in the air. It's from when you were 7 and you didn't brush your teeth or whatever happened and you got cavities and they filled them. And the jury is still out on this cavity thing because I mean, I'm hearing some stuff like the cause of cavities, the true cause of cavities. Like we really need to be digging deep into this stuff. Let's not just stop at um the dietary laws as they're called. My light went off, but it's okay. Let's not just stop at the dietary laws as they're called. Let's make sure that we continue to seek Yah for the understanding that we need concerning food, real food, stuff that is food, because sometimes we are eating things that are not food, and that is a problem. Um, and I know for a fact that our bodies want to heal, but how can they heal if you are not continuously doing something or striving toward that so that your body can heal, because that's what the body wants. The body wants you to continue on toward healing. So I know that's what I'm doing. I am really wanting to do that. And so for that reason, we will always talk about the heavy metals, the yeast or the candida because that's what candida is, like yeast infections, candida, and the big whopper of them all, I guess, the parasites. Now, I know that we are supposed to be talking about pain. We're going to talk about pain, but I just can't skip past these parasites because I found out about these things and I just can't give it up. Like because the connection to these parasites and everything is just ridiculous. Like, I was just talking about the heavy metals and the candida. So, your body, um, is what it is, and you've got the parasites in there, and the parasites are living off of the heavy metals that are in your body. So, like I said, you went to the dentist when you're 7, and they put these metals in your body, or you're outside and you're ingesting all this different stuff, and all of this is in your body. And the parasites, they've been in your body before you were born, and I say that because parasites, just like generational curses, are passed down from your mother. So your mother, she gave you parasites that she got from her mother, and so on. So these things are transferred. So, I mean, it just doesn't it just remind you of the spirit realm? I mean, you can't really see these parasites really, like, they're doing all this damage on the inside. But they pass from your grandmother and way way far back, and now you have them, and now you've got these metals in your body, and they're living off of these metals in your body, and they're also living on sugar, like whatever it is that you're eating. Like, let's say you Snickers satisfies you and you're hangry and you gotta get a Snickers because 'cause you're hangry. Well, it's not you that's hangry, it's those parasites. They are hangry, they wanna eat that, right? So, then the candida, and I just found this out today, and I'm so, like, disturbed by the education system. All the nonsense that they threw at us in school, they should have been teaching us this. And it's not that they didn't know, like, the educational system is crap because they should have been teaching this stuff about our bodies. They should have been teaching us about marriage. They should have been teaching us about a lot of different things to prepare us for this life. Because I guarantee you would not have been messing around as a teenager had you had this education. You'd be like, nope, not mixing my parasites with your parasites. No, gracias. I don't want it. I mean, you just totally I know. I think about this all the time. I totally, just would have had a different mindset as a teenager. I mean, just totally would have had a different mindset. And then it would have been like breathing, you know? Like, if they teach you if they teach you these things, let's say, let me use potty training for an example, right? Okay. So you learned how to use the bathroom, and now it's like nothing. Like, nobody has to tell you, "Girl, go use the bathroom." They don't have to say, "Boy, you know when you gotta go to the bathroom, you have to do A, B, and C." You're a grown adult and you already know those things. Well, if they would have taught us that this what I'm talking about right now, it would have been the same thing. You would have had the same functionality, as an adult, and just certain things wouldn't phase you. And furthermore, you would understand that these things, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. You would understand those things and you would see them as some sort of principalities. You would see them as um spiritual darkness pretty much because of what they do. They're not just swimming around inside of you. They're coming to kill, steal, and destroy. They're trying to take you down. All these things compound together to take you down. We're just thinking about, Satan, pitchfork guy with the tail and the horns and all this stuff. Now, I'm not saying Satan is not something that we need to be praying against. That's definitely not what I'm saying. But there are many modalities to evil. That is what I will say. And we are not equipped in the areas that we should be. And the Bible says something about that. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, right? And we can use that scripture so surfacely, but when you truly apply it to things like how our body works, boy, we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge because the foods, here comes the segue, the foods that we are eating and the junk that we are eating, it all matters. There are still people to this day that say, I don't like vegetables or I don't eat fruit or, just all these different things. Like they will eat vegetables, but it's got to be deep fried, patted on the side. It's got to be in some cornmeal and, uh, oh, Crisco and just all this. stuff. People do still use Crisco, but yeah. And let me put this disclaimer out there. I'm not making fun of anybody. So when you hear me say these things, and if you're still doing them, I'm not making fun of you. Okay. I'm not making fun of you because guess what? I was there and I definitely want to help anybody who is trying to live a better and righteous life. But yeah. So we still have people that are still doing these things and they don't understand that life and longevity, of course, starts with Yah. That's where it starts. You could eat every cucumber in the world and not eat anything else or whatever. Meaning, okay, you could be a vegan and you could be healthy and all this stuff, but if you don't have Yah, you're just still dying. You're still full of death. I mean, there's plenty of physically fit and people who had a good diet that they died yesterday. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have Yah because then none of it really matters that way. Like you look at life differently. If Yah decides to take me tomorrow and I know that I'm walking with him, then hey, I've ran my race. I've done the best that I could. But if you out here talking about you don't believe in Yah and you doing this and you doing that, because I mean I see people, grown adults, saying that crazy stuff today, and I like tremble in my boots for these people. Like, how in the world are you 60 and you're talking about you don't believe in Yah, you know, and you trying to be like those people over there. You talking about you don't believe in Yah. That's just the nuttiest thing I ever seen in my life. But you know what? That's what you call a reprobate mind. And that's Yah's business. He will deal with those kind of people. But, let me cycle back around. So we have people out here that are still saying they don't eat vegetables. They don't drink water. They only drink Kool-Aid. They only drink soda. They only do these things and none of them are healthy. So when you're living like that, there is no way that you can actually think that that provides longevity. And you'll hear people say stuff like, well, my grandfather, he drank Coke and he lived to be 89 years old. Okay, we'll consider him the exception. All right. Because I mean, I don't know what was going on inside his body. He might have been drinking soda all that time, but really he was his had to have a kidney transplant or he was on dialysis or he had, some kind of ailment. Yeah, he lived that long, but did he live life abundantly that is supposed to be supplied to him if he's walking with Yah? That's the thing. Yeah, we can go along to get along, but can we live life abundantly? That's what we should strive for, the perfection that Yah has for us. But oftentimes we just like one toe in the water of sin, even when it comes to food. You hear people talking about my cheat day, like they will buy a meal plan and they will be getting their chickpeas and they will be getting their coconut water and then they do a dance and they're on TikTok and they're showing you the inside of their refrigerator and it's all this greenery. But then they want to talk about the cheat day. Well, on my cheat day, I had a banana split with 5 pieces of cake. And it's like, okay, but who are you cheating? You're probably cheating yourself. Like, I mean, come on, you're cheating yourself. Like I'm not saying you cannot like sometimes do something, off of your plan, but I mean, just really think about these things. Life and death is in the power of your tongue, your cheat day. You're cheating yourself. You don't want to cheat yourself. You want to treat yourself. Treat yourself to the best life that you can have. The desire is to work um the longing for these things out of your system. Like your taste buds truly do change if you decide that you are going to live righteously toward your own self. Your taste buds truly change. And Willie can give a testimony to that. I can too. Like he tells me all these things he used to eat and I'm like, "Oh Lord." Like even when we got married, like seriously. He was eating donuts and I just remember like, oh my gosh, he eats donuts. This is crazy. Like, I was just like, not even vegan donuts. These are donuts, donuts. Like, oh no, I can't eat these donuts because I was truly on a pilgrimage, like just trying to take my body back. I truly was in this thing. So like when I married him, he was definitely on a pathway to something else, but he was not where he is today. So he was still eating those things, but Yeah, just you gotta get off those things. You gotta get off those sugars, you gotta get off that. His taste buds change. He doesn't have a desire for it now. I think he said he tried it something before and he was like or like he'll say, "Oh, I couldn't dream of eating that now," or whatever. And I'm like, "Oh, well, praise Yah, because I mean, you definitely are not gonna eat that now. That's just not good for you." But yeah, your taste buds change. Let's say you used to love candy bars, we'll use Snickers because I used to like Snickers myself. I would freeze those things, they were delicious. Um, that was one of the things I used to hide from my children, like I did, like I would buy stuff and hide from them. That's how you know you got a problem when you're hiding food from your children. It's not about, "Oh, you need something for yourself." You hide food from your children, that's sad, and it's not even good food, it's trash. But, yeah, Willie says, "My taste buds have been made new." Praise Yah for newness, even in taste buds. But, um, yeah, I mean, just your taste buds will totally change, and the goal is to get off of the trash. Because once you get off of the trash and you decide it's a decision, you're not torturing yourself, like, that's the problem. People feel like they're on punishment or they're torturing themselves. That's why they feel like they need a cheat day. But you need to be delivered from this sugar and this bread and these pastas and these unhealthy things that are not food. That's the thing. When you're eating something, just like Yah and Satan, okay? You're either for Yah or you're for Satan. There's no middleman. So it's the same thing with food. Either it's food or it's trash. There is no middle ground. It's not, "Oh, it's kind of food." No, it's either food or it's trash. And that's the way you need to look at it. Most times, if you go into some fast food thing, it's trash. So, therefore, what are you saying about your body if you continue putting trash in your body? It's a true reflection of what you feel about yourself. You say you're walking with Yah, but you're putting trash in your body. And when I say trash, I'm also talking about meat. Meat is not easily processed in your body. I know everybody wants to go back to um what the Bible says is clean and unclean, but dig deeper for yourself. Seriously, think about the meat today. Like, I know some people say, "Well, if you kill it yourself and you raise the lamb," and I don't know anybody raising nothing. I mean, even if you have some chickens, where did you get them from? Who do they come from? What's their lineage? I'm sure they come from trash too, because you don't have the first chicken that was on this earth. And not only that, but we have learned that that chicken that everybody's eating, that's a symbol of Popeyes and KFC and all of that. That is a hybrid animal. It is not the original chicken that people used to eat, apparently. I mean, I haven't done the research on that one bird that is the true chicken is like the guinea hen or something. Um, but I I don't know. I did not mean to get off into the chicken, but look, don't put trash into your body because it is a true testament of what you feel about yourself. If you need some deliverance and some prayer, I mean, reach out to us because I will believe with you. I will talk with you. I'm not perfect, but I can tell you I don't eat meat. I don't eat candy bars and junk and milk and eggs. I don't eat any of that. Like, no, I will help you get onto what you need to get onto. You just email us. Like I said, call as well, 314-744-9414. I'm happy to talk with you. I mean, it gives me joy when people want to come off of this stuff. There's a young lady I follow on well, we follow each other on TikTok. I saw her today. So I know she was watching me a little bit. I don't have a whole lot of TikTok videos. Um, but I saw today she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do a parasite cleanse." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, she's doing a parasite cleanse." I was so happy. I was so happy for her. Now I see her also, like she's overweight. But I also know she has a baby. She has a few children, but I know she has a little boy. He ain't even 2 years old yet. So shout out to her for working out, because some people wait till the baby is in kindergarten and then they just keep making excuses. But I see her working out, right? She works out, she gets on there, she shows everybody she's working out, and like I said, today I saw she's gonna do a parasite cleanse, and I was overjoyed. I'm like, "Wow." Now, does she know what that looks like exactly? No, but whose vantage point am I looking at it from? I'm looking at it from my own because I've been invested in this stuff for about a year now, and I still ain't where I need to be concerning the thing. But, I saw where she had prepared food, and she said she was using this food for her cleanse, and I am telling you, I was so excited for her because I see her trying, and that's what we have to do. We have to have the faith to try. What does the Bible say? Faith without works is dead. So if you're not putting in that work, how in the world are you gonna get anywhere? Having a cheat day is not putting in the work. It is not having any sort of faith. You are still trying to have your toes in the water of trash. Again, what you put in is what you get out. What does the Bible say? You will reap what you sow in so many ways. And I'm telling you, we could turn to the Bible for everything that we need. Now, let me go ahead and get the scripture up for y'all, the one that I was talking about. I mean, I don't really write things down like that, but, I do, but I don't, but I do. So let's see, let's see. Plants for your meat, KJ, whoops, V. Praise y'all for Google. All right. So it says in Genesis 1:29. And Yah said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed to you, it shall be for meat. So he's talking about these seeds that shall be for meat, okay? These fruits and things, they shall be for your meat. Now, me personally, I'd rather have these seeds for my meat than eat animals ever again. Has nothing to do with PETA or any of Save the Whales or anything like that, but I just know that I am way different now that I don't consume animals at all. Like, for a little while, I was doing eggs still. That's an aborted fetus. Like, my goodness. How are we eating that? Like, all you gotta do is watch these movies like What the Health and Super Size Me and all of that stuff. It will change your mind. It will change your mind, and you know, you can't be like the little children in the hood that don't understand where food actually comes from, because those children actually think that food comes from the grocery store. When you are a full grown adult, you know food does not start out in the grocery store. And you also know by now that they pump the animals up with all sorts of chemicals, dyes, and colors. You also know that that is affecting your body, and your body has a hard enough time flushing out the meat. So imagine those chemicals, dyes, and colors, and just poisons, formaldehyde, bleach, all that stuff is being absorbed into your body. I mean, how in the world are we even still living today with all of the poison that is happening in this non-food? I will say non-food. Shalom, Sister Carletta Joy. I am telling you, um, it's just disheartening. Like I said, I'll go back to the school system. The school should have been teaching us this stuff. I mean, it's not a matter of propaganda. It's not a matter of lies. I mean, there are some real realities that the school system could have taught us. They could have done plenty more field trips as well. Like, they could have been taking people to see how this stuff is put together. I haven't lived in a state that they haven't had a farm, you know, where there's a farm, I'm sure there's a slaughterhouse. Like, people should be seeing how they really do these things, because then you can go back and you can kinda compare it to what the Bible's saying. Let's just say you are eating meat. How is it being prepared? How is it being prepared for the store? How is it being prepared for your table? You have not a clue. All you know is you go to the store and it is in that wrapper, or if you're fancy, you go to the deli, like at Whole Foods or even your regular grocery store, and they have the meat behind the glass all laid out in the ice with the green stuff on the side, looking all beautiful and pretty, but it still stinks. Do you smell that smell? Like, that's not normal. You're eating that, it's rotten. You're putting rotten inside of you. Again, how you treat your body is what you think of yourself. And you can't say that you don't know because now you know, because I'm telling you, that stuff is rotten. You should not be putting it in your mouth. But I don't digress. I'm going to keep talking about it because I want everybody to just change. Now, for those of you out there saying, well, the vegetables are tainted, the fruit is tainted, we can't eat anything. Well, you know what? Maybe, maybe not. But what I do know is I don't have a desire to saute, fry, or fricassee any flesh. Okay. I like what one of the elders was saying. The actually the older lady, she's like 70 something years old, and she's one of the ones that looks really nice. She said, if you are not a mammal and have certain teeth to bite into the flesh of another animal, you have no business eating it. And that's just true. Like, really. Like lions, they have the teeth to do that. You use your nice fork and knife to do that, and it's got to be cooked. Lions have teeth and they're able to rip into that flesh, tough as it is, and just eat it like that. We don't have that ability. And really, like, when you really think about Yah and you think about how irritated Yah has been with us, I mean, you think about the manna from heaven and the quail raining down and the people getting sick and all of that stuff. Just because you can do something, it doesn't mean it's the best thing for you. That's just reality. And Yah has told us that he is a terrible Yah. He's used that word terrible. So terror in that, you desire those things, good and well. That sometimes it's like, oh well, okay. You don't desire to seek nothing beyond what you want to do. That's fleshly. But like I said, as far as this word is concerned, concerning food, you need to really be seeking him for yourself. Because you seeing grandmama with issues, grandpa with issues, your auntie with this and that, and people having these different issues. It all stems from what we're putting in our body and parasites and candida and heavy metals. So what is it that you can do differently? What is it that you can do? Now it's supposed to be cycling around over to the pain, but it all works together. So when we think about pain and we think about all these different issues, like there's some stuff that you can't, you know, hey, it happened, like car accidents. Like I've had car accidents, but none at fault, but I've had car accidents. So they like to tell you, oh, you're gonna feel pain later on and this and that. And I never received that. But the reality is these different things that happen to your body, the chiropractor would call it subluxations, you know, in your body. Those things you cannot control. Of course, you're always praying against, the evil that wants to come against your body, but there's just some things that happen to you and you have to believe beyond that. So, if you're in a car accident, you might be in pain a lot. You might have some residual pain. If you were in sports as a youth, you might have pain a lot. Like Willie, he was in wrestling. I can't imagine being a wrestler, like somebody's body on your neck and that's just gross. Just wrestling, period, right? Wrestling. Your body is contorted in many different ways. You're twisted up, somebody's sitting on you, smashing you, just doing all kind of stuff. In basketball, you're running up and down a court. You're putting a lot of pressure on your knees, like, just doing things that a machine is meant to do. And we know that, who they put out there for basketball and all these sports, but then again, that's a whole nother subject. Volleyball, same thing. You might be falling all over the ground. You're trying to spike and hit things or whatever, and you just exerting your body. Now, I'm not saying activity's not healthy, definitely, but overexerting your body, you can definitely expect to have some pain. So When you have pain, what do you do? I mean, out the gate, let's just say you're in an activity and you are in a sports activity at school and something happens to you and then you have to go to your family doctor or whatever. What are they going to prescribe to you? What are they going to prescribe to you? They're going to prescribe to you probably an anti-inflammatory. Uh okay, an anti-inflammatory and then something for pain. So, let's see what Dr. Google says. Best pills for, let's say, knee injury. Knee injury. Let's see what it says when you type that in. All right. Okay. So, the first thing on here is cosamine capsules. All right. Let me take my glasses off so I can see. Cosamine capsules. Then we have something organic called joint support. Then we got Osteobioflex. I've seen that commercial. Joint food. See, they're trying to be good today because they know that I am holistic. Normally they put all kind of trash up in here. Aspirins and all that kind of stuff. No, all this stuff looks pretty good, like it's herbal, right? But let's see. WebMD. Okay, let's go to best medications for knee pain. All right. So this is from Medical News Today. All right, knee pain. Da, 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 da. This article looks the best medication for knee pain. Okay, here you go. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. People may treat mild to moderate knee pain with over-the-counter OTC medications such as non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs or NSAIDs or acetaminophen. NSAIDs relieve inflammation and help with pain management. Some types of NSAIDs are available over the counter to treat mild to moderate pain. OTC NSAIDs include ibuprofen. Now, how many people just pop ibuprofen like that? A lot of people ibuprofen, right? Um, it's available under brand names such as Motrin and Advil and naproxen. Sodium available under the brand name Aleve. Okay, so those are the names that you would see at the store. Those are the things that mama had in her purse or granny had in her purse for a headache. They had these things, right? So we're thinking that they're okay. So it talks about an adult can take 800 to 1200 milligrams per day. For naproxen, the daily dose should not be more than 1,375 milligrams. A person should follow the instructions on the medication guide and never exceed the recommended daily dose. Right. Mm. Now let's see if they give us the true potential side effects. They don't. It says NSAIDs such as naproxen may cause side effects, which can include diarrhea, bloating, and gas, constipation, ringing in the ears, dizziness, drowsiness, nervousness. People should speak with a medical professional to discuss the potential side effects of NSAIDs. Now, you know why they said that? Because they are not telling you that those things cause damage to your liver. And your liver is used to filter all these things out, like all of the toxins and all of the bad stuff. And if you destroy your liver, you're pretty much just jacked up. Like you're susceptible to many different things, like when you destroy your liver and your kidneys and all that. They're not telling you that. They're just going to tell you, here, take these. I used to be on naproxen. Why was I on naproxen? Lord have mercy. I'm trying to think. Why was I on? When I was fat, I know that. Like my joints hurt. Um, yeah, I know I was, like, overweight, I had aching joints, and I was I don't know why was I on naproxen, like, I wanna say maybe a car accident, that's what I wanna say, but I know that my joints were hurting, and at one point in time, I let them, inject me a little bit with some, steroids, and I had a decent doctor, she's like, "We're not gonna do this all the time." And I was like, "Well, I don't wanna do it all the time," but she was trying to tell me she really didn't believe it, and that doctor to this day, she left this country because she was, like, fed up with the medical profession, so she left, but, um, yeah. So I was on that naproxen, and I'll tell you, it was around the same time I'll say that I started, like, eating clean. And it's so crazy because you can think that you're doing something in one direction, but still be poisoning yourself in a different direction, because they're not gonna necessarily tell you that, "Hey, if you are on this, you need to be careful." They're not necessarily gonna tell you that. They will keep filling the prescription. Like, I had refills, like, you could just keep going to get this prescription, and whenever you have some pain, you could just pop that pill. So that's that one. Okay, then you got acetaminophen. Acetaminophen is an analgesic or pain reliever that also reduces fever. Some people take acetaminophen to reduce pain caused by osteoarthritis. Well, why do you have osteoarthritis? Why? Is it because you're getting old? No, it's not. There's a deterioration happening, but what is causing that? It is because of diet and exercise. What it is that you're eating, and not getting blood flow to those joints and to those bones and just those different areas. So they're kind of like closing off and they become stiff. So that's what that is. Again, you don't get these things just because you're getting old. That's just when they show up because you trashed your body. So now your body's like, well, we old now. No, that's not what needs to happen. And reality is, we're seeing more of these things happen with younger people. People in their 20s are having like arthritis and just all these different things that are very abnormal, and that's because the foods and, well, the things that people are consuming, right? So, all right, osteoarthritis, a type of arthritis that affects the joints, including the knees. People also take acetaminophen to relieve other mild to moderate pain. Other mild to moderate pain. So it's like a blanket, right? A blanket over all kinds of issues that you might be having. So examples of medications that contain acetaminophen would be Panadol, Tylenol, and, Actamin, never heard of Actamin, and Feverall. So those are some examples. I've heard of Tylenol and Panadol, but Actamin and Feverall, never heard of those. Let me know in the comments if you've heard of, those, Actamin and Feverall. Let me know because 'cause I've never heard of those ever. Panadol, I remember being impressed as a child because the commercial, the person was in England. I mean, just the stupidest things catch us up. "Oh, wow, they're in England." Whatever. But, these people have been poisoning folks for a long time. It's just very irritating. So it talks about the dosage, the precautions. It says if a person takes too much acetaminophen, there is a risk. Here they go. They're telling the truth here. If a person takes too much acetaminophen, there is a risk of liver damage. This may be severe, require a liver transplant, or be fatal. Why in the world would I take any of these things? Oh, because they don't inform you, but they're informing you here. It's saying it could cause some liver problems. Like, you might be very jacked up if you take that stuff. So I would just advise that we stay away from that stuff. It's time to get with the natural remedies. That's why we're here. Let's see. And there is a long list. I might have to include this article in the comment section because I need to retitle what it says in the heading and all that because this is kind of an impromptu thing that we did. Um, but I definitely want people to be able to go back and take a look for themselves concerning all of these matters. Don't just take my word for it. Take my word and go study some stuff or whatever. Even go and ask your doctor. If you go to a doctor, a medical doctor, say, you know what, from here on out, anytime you prescribe me something, I want you to explain to me what the side effects are, and I also want it in writing. I know they give you some papers or whatever, and maybe some people don't get little papers or whatever, but your doctor should definitely be talking to you about what the side effects are. If they're gonna tell you that this is okay for you to take, they should be talking to you about it. Now, the pharmacist will do that. Pharmacies are, they're pretty nice. But your doctor, if they're talking about take this thing, They need to be willing to sit down with you. You need to take an extra 15 minutes with me and talk to me about what this is before I take it. Let me know. But, yeah, because I remember my son, he was, having some hyperactivity issues. I mean, now that I am who I am today, I know what it was about. But, you know, for them to prescribe medication for your child, like ADHD medicine, they're supposed to have to do a whole process. Like, they're supposed to see a psychiatrist or psychologist or somebody and all of these things before they prescribe this medicine to your child. Well, my pediatrician, who I thought was the greatest person ever, he prescribed my son some drugs and did not even tell me to go to anyone. He didn't refer me to a specialist, none of that. He just wrote this prescription up. Now, I didn't give it to my son. I didn't give it to him because I remember I was taking care of a little girl and she was considered hyper and her mother had her on these drugs. And I never forget her name was Morgan. Morgan was a little six-year-old girl, and she was so sickly because she was on these drugs. Her eyes were wide, she was always wound up. She was very she, like, at the drop of a hat, whined and cried. I mean, you could just tell something was not right with the girl. Although she was on the medication, it was like she needed medication for the medication. It was really sad. And I know she was very underweight, under her eyes now that I know what I know about parasites, she just had parasites, probably parasites in the medicine, but under her eyes, very dark, like, it was really bad, the little girl, I felt sorry for her. But I praise Yah for that time because this was the same time my pediatrician was recommending that I put my son on this ADHD medication, and I saw what it had done to Morgan, and I was like, I'm not putting him on that. I'll whoop his butt, that's what Imma do," but I did not put him on medication, because I thought that it would just really, like, do some really bad stuff to him after seeing Morgan. She just was not a normal acting child. She just was kinda erratic and crazy, and I was like, no, not gonna do it." But yeah, so the doctor should be explaining this stuff to you. When they put your child or you on medication, "Hey, I need an explanation. Don't just throw some papers at me. I want you to explain to me what the side effects of these things are, what I can expect, whatever." I mean, hopefully your takeaway from this is that you're gonna be trying to do some alternative things before, for pain. That's what we're supposed to be talking about. For pain before you get into all these things with your doctor. And I know many of us do have a doctor. And I'm not saying, hey, don't go to your doctor. I'm not saying any of that. I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you nothing but what I'm saying here. Hopefully you will take this information and be able to make some better choices concerning your health. That's what we're trying to do is make better choices. No, that's what we're doing. We're making better choices concerning health. We don't have to try, we just have to do it. So if you are on some kind of medication like these for pain, you're just popping these over the counter pills, you gotta know that it is not good for your liver or your kidneys. It's just destroying them. And your liver and your kidneys are important for your lymphatic system, which is moving all of the trash and toxins out of your body. And if you don't have good gut health, then you are immune deficiency, meaning your whole immune system that is able to fight off sickness and disease is compromised. And that's why you are allergic to everything. And that's why just having all these hormone issues because your immune system is compromised. So let me keep going. So what would we have now? Let's see. Here we got the ibuprofen. Okay. I went way down. Let me go back up and see the Minifin. Okay, NSAID. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot here. I'm telling you, there is a lot of drugs they put people on. Okay, so we got the acetaminophen. We read that one. We've got the side effects for that: rash, itching, hives, swelling, tongue, face, throat, ankle. My goodness, who wants these side effects? Um, Then we've got prescription medications. A person may require stronger medications for more severe pain, which a doctor can prescribe these, may include higher dosage of NSAIDs and COX-2 inhibitors. I don't even know what that is, as called COXIBs. Examples of prescribed NSAIDs include high doses of ibuprofen, high doses of naproxen, uh, diclofenac, or Voltaren. Ooh, sounds witchcrafty. Examples of coxibs include coxib Celebrex, heard the commercial, Celebrex, and ectoric ectoricoxib. I'm telling you, it is some witchcraft, these names even. A person can take these medications as tablets orally or apply them to the knee as a gel or cream. According to the National Library of Medicine, the maximum daily dose of each medication, and they got the dosages. Precaution: people who take NSAIDs or COXIBs are at risk of gastrointestinal problems. Didn't I just say that? Like this stuff is destroying you, your gastrointestinal system. There is a greater risk of complications if a person drinks alcohol frequently, takes corticosteroids, takes SSRIs, takes blood thinning medications, takes several anti inflammatory pain relief medications together, has had stomach bleeding or gastritis, has had gastrointestinal conditions such as Crohn's disease or ul- ulcerative colitis, has had a bacterial infection with Helicobacter pylori. That's H. pylori. That's what that is. Which can cause ulcers, or at 65 or older. Potential side effects: ingestion or indigestion, stomach pain, gas and bloating, ulcers, constipation, gastritis, sore throat, dizziness, cold symptoms. Yeah, no, thank you. Injections for knee pain. You can get some hyaluronic acid injections. Let's see. They say hy it's hydrocortisone. Hydrocortisone may not be suitable for people who have an infection or have a depression, measles, shingles, chickenpox. Hydrocortisone also may cause complications in those that have high blood pressure, diabetes, osteoporosis, glaucoma, unhealed wounds. Yeah, there's like a list, okay? A list. The list has babies, okay? It is just so much, like, we need to be mindful of that, okay? So the summary is the medication a person receives for knee pain can depend on the cause and sensitivity of the pain. So basically, they decide how much drugs you should get for this pain that you're on. So we talked about knee pain. So I'm gonna say headaches, we'll say, arthritis. What is something else? Somebody may have back pain. Okay, class. What other kind of pain might somebody have? Go ahead. I'm looking in the comments. Name something else that's kind of common. How about gout? Gout. What else? I'm looking to see if anyone is going to put any sort of ailment in the comment section. That's sort of common, I guess, that people. Um. Oh. Okay. All right. Well, I am sorry if the feed is buffering. That's crazy. Let me send Sister Yadiah a text. She can go on YouTube, and hopefully YouTube is not buffering. I don't know what's going on, but please join YouTube if you can. Or maybe that's where it was buffering because she was in the YouTube. What am I thinking? Or or the radio. All right, I don't know. Anyway, anybody, let's see. Nobody has put anything in the comments concerning what, um, you know, but I've got headaches, arthritis, back pain, gout, ulcers, Willie said. Ulcers. Okay. Yeah. Ulcers, that's a good one. So let's go over here to our books. We got some books here. And I was kind of doing a little bit of studying. There's my favorite pen. I was looking for it. Doing a little bit of studying before today. But let's see. Not too much because I like to just do it live, honestly. It just makes more sense to me. So uh I'm on YouTube. Okay. So I am in only one of the books, right? So we're going to start with, okay, they're talking about burns, but, and you know what's wonderful about Yaz medicine? Let me just tell you, like, we just went over all bad stuff, but the thing about these herbs that we're going to talk about is they kind of they have um, multiple things that they do. Like if I have, because a lot of things are just inflammation. If I have something wrong with my stomach and then also my head is hurting, I probably can just take some ginger to fix both of those problems. And the thing is, oh, well, let's see. Sister Yadiah, maybe the radio. Anyway, so, yeah, you could take some ginger and that will probably take care of both of them. And that's the thing, it's not hard to do research anymore because we have the internet, I'll say. Well, we have the internet available to us. But me personally, I have a lot of books and I even buy different magazines. Like if you go to Whole Foods, oftentimes they'll have this. You probably can't see this magazine. Oh my goodness. Let me see if I turn this light off. Maybe you can see this magazine. Yeah, you can see this magazine. You can kind of see it. Yeah, now you can. Yeah, Well-Being Journal. I like it. I think it comes out quarterly. It's not too cheap. It's 14.99. But man, this magazine, when they have it, it has some really good stuff in it. Like this one's old from fall 2021. Overcoming Lyme disease, naturally clearing up food confusion, limit glyphosate exposure, toxic mold, 5 foods to defend your heart. Like good magazines, good periodicals, good information, right? You can go on the internet. Many people have sites with a lot of different information, but really get used to getting some books again because we know all this stuff is happening concerning this world. All this stuff is happening. Can everybody, Willie, can you see me on the internet? Or can you hear me on the internet? Not on the radio, but on the YouTube because Sister Yadai was having some issues. Um on YouTube? Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, get back to getting books, like I was saying, because they're going to do whatever they're going to do. I don't even know what they're doing, but it's not something good. Like I'm not going to get on here and say what they're doing. Look, they've been doing it. They gonna keep doing it. So that whatever it is that they're doing, right? So it would just be wise if you either print things out or you go and get you some books. Okay, get you some books. I got several books, and I like to have them all around me so that I can read different remedies. I mean, it's just the most wonderful thing. So let's see. That's aloe vera. Okay, so let's talk about different remedies for the things that we mentioned, right? So everything that I mentioned, I'm going to tell you, all those ailments that I just mentioned, you can take the same stuff for them because the issue is inflammation along with changing what it is that you're eating and not eating and supplementing yourself with certain vitamins and minerals. That's another thing we'll do one day. But I got to do a deeper dig because I just, I don't have what I need concerning information and vitamins and minerals. Not like I want to, but that is definitely something that we need to be looking at is the vitamins and minerals that we are taking and not taking and when and where you could be deficient because that also deteriorates your gut. If you're not getting, for instance, the selenium that you need, if you're not getting um what is it that you're not getting? And it just slipped my mind. I guess I need some supplements. Yeah, several things that you're not getting. Magnesium, Lord. Magnesium. If you're not getting the magnesium that you need, and just different herbs that would support your body, you're gonna have problems. But these things that I will be mentioning, they will help with everything that we just talked about, like headache pain, arthritis, back pain, gout, and ulcers, all of that. Yeah. So let's see. So we've got aloe vera. They're talking about that for burns. Aloe vera is good for a lot of different things. Aloe vera is good for ulcers. If you've got a deteriorated gut, or your microbiome in your gut is bad and off, aloe vera is going to coat that. And so if you take that on a regular basis, you will see some different results. Now you have to kind of stick with things for a minute to see how your body reacts with it. Okay. Now, somebody in the medical professional or profession may say to you, well, this might happen and that might happen. But again, they're not really telling you what's happening when they prescribe you a pill. So, you know, you really can't lose unless you're on a bunch of medications. Now you can't, well, I shouldn't say you can't, but you should be mindful about coupling pharmaceuticals with natural remedies. And even coupling a bunch of different natural remedies together, you have to be mindful of how you space them apart or if you should be taking them together or not. But hey, aloe vera, you can get that at Trader Joe's. You can get a whole container of aloe vera for like $8 to $10, and I mean a huge one. So if you're dealing with ulcers, aloe vera is something that you could definitely take. It says the gel from inside this plant leaves, reduces inflammation, soothes pain, fights bacteria, and speeds healing. And I guess cooks keep it on at bay if they're cooking because it's good for minor burns. Yeah. Okay, the next one we'll talk about is calendula. Anti-inflammatory, astringent, antiseptic, cooling, and wound healing. Calendula turns up in many over-the-counter burn products. Again, they're talking about burns, but I'm telling you, you can use these things for the problems that we're talking about. You can also make a tea from the dried flower petals. You could steep 2 teaspoons of dried herbs in 1 cup of hot water for 10 minutes, strain, and let cool. Okay. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to look up benefits of calendula. Okay. I mean, actually, I could use my book, but we'll go to Google because it's fast. Let's see. Benefits of And now, we are not even gonna scratch the surface concerning what it is that you could be taking for your ailment. I mean, we're going over a few, but again, I want you to go get some books. I want you to study. Like, it's just simply Google herbal remedies for blank, whatever the problem is that you're having. Just know that it's not necessarily a death sentence. I don't care what your doctor told you, but just Google this. They don't like that information is available to you now. It is. It's available to you. You don't have to suffer in silence now. You can look it up like anything. Okay. Benefits of calendula. All right, here we go. And another thing, I think I told y'all this before. Sometimes you might have to scroll and scroll because you'll get like some bogus websites like WebMD. They're not always good. They try to tell you all kind of stuff, but you might have to go down, a little bit further to go down to a natural pathic site that is going to give you the fat and the skinny on the herb, and then you might want to go on YouTube because there's a lot of gracious people on there that have done the due diligence in telling you what you need to know about this herb and actually how to harvest it. And that's another thing later on. You might want to learn how to go harvest these herbs for yourself instead of buying them. So we're going to go on this Chestnut School of Herb Medicine. We'll go on their site. All right. We'll see what they say about calendula. Okay, calendula's herbal and edible uses, how to grow, gather, and prepare calendula as food and medicine. Maybe we'll put this in a link too. I'll send this to I'll send I'll email this to us so that we can make sure we um put it in the YouTube so y'all see what I was saying. Let's see here. Does it let me do that? I'll send it to Willie. Let's see. Um okay, I sent it to Willie. All right. So y'all will see that in there, okay? Um all right. All right. Calendula. Calendula is one of the easiest herbs to grow. All right. It says naturally it finds its way into the hearts and gardens of all herb lovers. It has been used for centuries, both internally and topically, to heal wounds, burns, and rashes. The sunshiny flowers are a traditional remedy for supporting the immune system and lifting the spirits. If that weren't enough, the edible ray florets of the flower heads, which look like yellow petals, are bursting with antioxidant compounds. Calendula's name derives from the Latin calende, referring to its long blooming season in certain locales. It is said to bloom nearly every month of the calendar year. The species name officinalis refers to its historical use in apothecaries and pharmacopoeias, which is yesterday's pharmacies. When they used to deal herbs, now they don't. Okay, as the official medicine species of genus, calendula is also called marigold and pot marigold. How many of y'all knew that? That's the marigold plant. So when you see a marigold, it's calendula. Easiest thing to grow. I remember I was growing tomatoes and they couple well with tomatoes, and one just found its way in my tomatoes, right? So calendula is also called marigold and pot marigold, leading to confusion with members of the genus Tagates, which go by the same common name. The marigold that you've seen as common garden ornamentals are in the Tagates genus, which is in the same family as calendula. So it's a family. Okay. All right, let's see if they tell us any other health benefits. Let's see. So that's good enough for me. It is an antioxidant, it's an anti-inflammatory, so it definitely helps you if you're having inflammation. So it is something that you want to have as a tea. And I see some beautiful pictures where they have taken the flowers and frozen them and put them in drinks. So, of course, this is like a summertime drink. But we will make sure that we put this in the YouTube channel. So if you all want to go back and visit this site, because it's quite lovely, this Chestnut School of Herbal Medicine. I'm going to pay more attention to that. But again, it's just in Google, like Googling whatever issue you're having, natural remedies for blank, natural remedies for whatever, it will pop up. Okay. So there is that. Calendula is one. Okay. So here's another one. And this one I actually use. It's called comfrey. Both the leaves and root of this plant contain allotonin, which speed healing of burned skin. They're talking about burned skin, remember. Once again, look for commercial products or a tea or poultice. To make tea, steep 1 teaspoon of dried herb in 1 cup of hot water. Strain and let cool to make a poultice. You can mash it up. All right, so let's look that one up. Comfrey. I know comfrey is very good for healing. But again, all these things have like multifaceted uses. Let's see. Comfrey. All right. Okay. Okay, here we go. Comfrey ointments have been used to heal bruises as well as pulled muscle. Now, remember, I told you athletes, athletics, basketball, strains, sprains. Here we go with the comfrey. Fractures, sprains, strains, and osteoarthritis. All right. So comfrey is good for that. All right. So then let's go straight over to cayenne. I like cayenne and I like turmeric. I think we read about cayenne and turmeric last time. I didn't even say, "Oh, this is Be Well Wednesday." I got off in my tangent, but this is Be Well Wednesday. We do this every other Wednesday. Don't mind me. But cayenne is a topical use, and you can also ingest it. Just the regular cayenne pepper that you can get from the store. You can literally put that in some water and drink it. It also helps with heart issues. If you have heart issues, or if you know somebody with heart issues, you could just really literally keep a small bag in your purse or your pocket or whatever. Keep it with you. And if somebody has heart issues, they usually tell you to give the person aspirin. You don't have to give the person aspirin, you can give them some cayenne pepper, and it'll do just as well, but that heat from that cayenne pepper, heats up your system in a way that I guess you would think that you're on fire, but it actually provides a different sort of heat that is actually, just there to get your blood and your system flowing and your cells and all that stuff. Um, yes, definitely good to have cayenne pepper. It provides something called capsaicin. Okay. It activates Wait, the skin capsaicin initially activates pain nerves, then renders them unresponsive, thereby relieving pain. Okay, there you go. Capsaicin initially activates pain nerves, then renders them unresponsive, thereby relieving pain. It will also increase blood flow and make the injured the area feel warm. This effect may not do much. However, for the deeper pain of tendonitis and bursitis, it helps, right? So you'll have to be the judge of whether these commercial creams, okay, they're talking about commercial creams. But yes, so they talked about tendonitis and bursitis. All these things that they say you're going to get when you get old, or they, tout it off to being old. So there, ginger. We got ginger. I did mention ginger before. It's an anti-inflammatory. Ginger, cayenne pepper, turmeric, these things you can just get at the regular store. You don't even have to be an herbalist. Um, with an anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and pain-relieving properties, ginger works in not so mysterious ways. Scientists now know that it inhibits the production of inflammatory chemicals called prostala, prostala, prostalatins. Okay, and leukotrienes. A compound in ginger called 6-shogal can mildly reduce pain, probably by blocking the nerve transmission of pain signals. And the typical dosage is up to 8 500 milligram capsules per day. And of course, you don't really have to deal in capsules. You can just go get you some ginger from the store, but just be mindful of the dosage. Again, you can Google that. How much ginger can you take? Okay, wait, 1 teaspoon of the ground root per day, or 1/3 ounce of fresh ginger, about a quarter of an inch per day. Caution, do not use if you have gallbladder disease. Okay. Don't use it if you have gallbladder disease. You probably need to go towards something more gentle, like I would say a lemon balm, or what else? What else would you use? I can think of another one. Just give me a minute. You just definitely need something very gentle, on your gallbladder. Let's see here. Like I said, turmeric. Turmeric is an anti-inflammatory. Um, it is the subject of studies examining the effects of its active ingredients, curcumin. That is the active ingredient is curcumin. In laboratory experiments, curcumin provided as much of an effectiveness in reducing inflammation as the potent anti-inflammatory drug hydrocortisone and phenylbutazone, but without the side effects. Okay, and in Ayurvedic medicine, turmeric is used both topically and internally for sprains and other muscle injuries. Okay, so those things you can use. You can use all of these things and really don't expect to have crazy side effects, especially when you compare it to the pharmakia, the stuff that the doctors are going to give you and prescribe. They're gonna prescribe you something. They're not gonna say, "Here, go take some turmeric." They're going to prescribe something. Oh, okay. So it just came to me, that thing for the gallbladder, you probably can just take you some nice chamomile. That's another good one, chamomile. So yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I have got these books and I am just so thankful to the Most High Yah that He's given me a mind to first of all serve Him so that He can put wisdom at my right hand and I can decide that I want to live a better life, meaning I don't want to put all these strange things in my body. I want to look up these herbs that He's provided for meat for us, and the Bible also says, healing is the children's bread. That's what it says. So I mean, I can receive healing. That's what it says. And there's many other things here. Like you may need to relax a bit. You could take valerian root. Um, like I said before, chamomile that also provides relaxation. St. John's wort as well. If you're thinking about cleaning your blood, you can get you some burdock root. Because it's a detoxifying herb and demonstrates anti-tumor effects in animal studies. In other research, it has acted as an anti-mutagen. Traditional Western herbalists and practitioners of traditional Chinese medicine consider the dry root of this plant a blood purifier. So if you're wanting to clean your blood, first of all, we know you got to get off of the things that are not food, right? and you can take this, and it is known as a blood purifier. Some research shows that it stimulates the flow of bile, one of the key digestive substances in the liver. So the typical dosage is up to six 400 to 500 milligram capsules per day. You can take it as a tea as well. And a lot of these things you can take as a tea, because they're natural herbs. You just don't want to boil them. You can put them in hot water and let them steep. But I mean, there is so much here. I mean, I am only in one book. I have all these books. You can get some books at the thrift store, okay? You can get some books at the library, but I encourage you all, get you some books about these start collecting these herbal remedies. Start practicing on yourself. Be your own medical professional. If you're having these aches and pains, I'll tell you something. I don't know if we talked about it. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But a few months back, I actually experienced something called the grape cure. There's a whole book called The Grape Cure where you only eat grapes. And if you can't really do the grapes like that, you can also have some raisins, which are also grapes. I think I ate raisins like once and I was like, no, I'll stick with the grapes. But I was on only grapes for 2 weeks. I ate nothing but grapes. And guess what? Before I was having so many aches and pains, I mean, there was a lot of contribution to that because we also had, like, a mold growing, which a lot of people have a mold growing. That's another thing we need to focus on, this mold. But, I was having a lot of joint pain, like, it literally hurt to get up every day. My feet hurt, my legs hurt, just everything was hurting, and you talk about starting to feel old. I was like, "Man, I'm starting to feel old." But when I went on that grape diet, I saw a lot of issues just disappear, and I woke up super alert, like, I didn't feel like this strange brain fog, I felt really, really good. So it just goes to show you that changing what you're eating, changing the, lack of activity that's going on in your life, you gotta exercise. It doesn't have to be a big production, but just doing these things, making these subtle changes, you'll start noticing differences. But I encourage you to do so because you don't have to get old and well, you're gonna get old, but you don't have to feel crappy. You really don't. You can feel better than what you have felt in all of your days. Like honestly, you make these changes because when you think about it, as most people I know, they grew up eating hot dogs and bologna and just all these different things. But as you, as an adult, have made the discovery, it's not too late. It's not too late until you're dead. So, these subtle changes, people wanna start eating salads every now and again or whatever. No, add more salads to your plate. Get rid of the ranch dressing and the dairy things and all that stuff. Get on the internet and use it for what it should be used for. Learn how to make your own salad dressings. Learn some different creative recipes. And again, if you need help, we can help you. I don't have, like, a meal plan, thing, kit that I'm selling and all that. I don't have any of that. Um but we can help you if you need help, trying to just get it together. Um, it's possible. And sometimes it's just you sitting down and watching, some different things. Like I said, if you watch What the Health and just all these different documentaries where people have changed their lives because they were fat, sick, and nearly dead, you will like appreciate that and be like, man, I need to do something. And like for instance, I can watch the show Hoarders and it will immediately inspire me to get up and clean up. And my house may not be like that nasty or anything, but it'll make me like want to get up and do the dishes or wash my clothes. I mean, some of us, we function like that. We need that sort of inspiration. So if you watch those documentaries, I'll tell you, Fat, Sick, Nearly Dead, Super Size Me. There's two parts to Super Size Me. There's Super Size Me and Unsupersize Me. Um, there's just so many. Like, go on YouTube, they're free. You look at these documentaries and then the next one will pop up and the next one will pop up and the next one will pop up, and they'll just, like, inundate you with these different documentaries that you can see and just really recognize that it's time for change to come. You need to, in these times, be, making your body fit and healthy. so you can have clarity of the mind, so you can have strength to endure to the end. How will you have strength to do it, endure to the end if you're not working out your muscle? And that's not just your physical muscle, that's also your spiritual muscle. So, I mean, that's what you need to be doing. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. So I think that that's probably it. I mean, I talked about a whole lot of stuff. We did talk about pain relief. What are you doing for it? And I guess the takeaway from this today is just know that you're not at a loss now. Not in these times. You're not at a loss. You can simply Google whatever it is that your issue is that you're having and make sure you put natural remedies in front of it. And whatever it is that your doctor has put you on for these things, go ahead and look up the side effects and wonder, you wonder why your stomach hurts or you're gassy or, oh man, now you need a pill for a pill to take care of that pill, whatever that pill was doing, or your hair is falling out, or your skin is dry, you're itchy, you got watery eyes, just all these different things. You can detox yourself from all this stuff and you can totally get with Yah's healing medicine that he has provided for you. And I encourage you to do so. Again, I'm not perfect. I serve the one who is. And so I trust that he will give us everything that we require in this life, like totally. So what I'm going to do is invite you to come back with me next time. I don't know what we'll talk about. I don't have anything in front of me. Maybe we'll do vitamins. I would like an expert to come on and talk about that, but I guess I'll have to make myself the expert if I do a little studying. I'm not going to promise we'll do vitamins, but I promise we'll do something that is profitable for you and me both so that we can learn together. Because that's my goal. Like I said, I'm not the expert. I'm not perfect. Just serve the perfect one, the one who is perfect, who created you and me. He knew us in our mother's womb. He knit us together. So, he allowed us to be on this broadcast today. Yeah, so I think that's gonna be it. What I'm gonna do now is read our lovely scripture, which is Philippians 4:8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report. If there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. I'm your sister Cece. I thank you so much for joining me. Please join me again, not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after next. And make sure you reach out to us. Like if you are listening here on YouTube, send us a comment, text us, call us 314-744-9414. Send us an email, PQLR1 number one radio at gmail.com. Look at our link tree, join us on social media. And yeah, we're out. Thank you so much. May Yah bless the rest of your evening, your night, your day, wherever you are. I pray that you are blessed.